To start off with today's proceedings, I would like to request the chairman of the advisory committee, Mr Deva Rodrigo, to deliver the welcome address.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Tennyson and Vinita Rodrigo Trust, I am privileged to welcome each and every one of you to the first Tennyson Rodrigo Memorial Speech to be delivered by Professor Ajit D. Alvis of the University of Moratuwa, presently on secondment to the National Innovation Agency, a CIO. Ajit had been known to us for some time through work at the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce. Tennyson started or established the trust in 2018, June 2018 to be precise, 6 months before he passed away. And he worked whilst battling cancer in the last few years of his life, and somehow summoned energy to walk up to the next room to sit at the computer and prepare the very fine trust deed he has developed, in which he set out his vision, his interests that we have to pursue and promote, and his humanitarian outlook, which he has asked us to support. Tennyson believed in his vision, he says, that he sees Sri Lanka as a country that can be transformed to a modern, forward-looking nation that can take its place among the international arena. And he says to do that, education is the fundamental vehicle. Tennyson also said that schools, universities, and other institutes of higher education have a compelling role to play to not only disseminate knowledge, but to create and foster attitudinal changes and critical thinking, which are two important areas missing today, especially the new generation of youth. Tennyson said, this is in the preamble of the trust deed, that through such change in attitudes and critical thinking, he expects the next generation of thought leaders and change agents to emerge. So that will be a major plank of the trust if he can deliver on that requirement of Tennyson. But it's a huge, enormous project for us to launch as just one trust. Tennyson also endowed to the trust a few 100 million rupees. Not a few, maybe a little more than few. And with that money, we are today comfortably able to sponsor and do many projects. Tennyson appointed a law firm as the sole trustee to establish the trust, and then 8 individuals he had picked from all his contacts to serve as advisory committee members. The advisory committee is the equivalent of a board of directors. All the executive functions are to be carried out by the advisory committee. It comprises Ruan Punchiheva. It did comprise Ruan Punchiheva, the initial committee, Priyat Salgadu, Deva Rodrigo, Mahesh Amalin, Rachini Rajapaksa, who is out here, and Ravi Abhisurya, Professor Mick Moore, and Prasanjit Vijaytilaka. But later on, that single law firm trustee was replaced by another law firm, which was able to accommodate 2 individuals as trustees, and 2 of our advisory committee members were asked to quit the advisory committee and move on as trustees. About last year, this time, Himan Punchiheva of the University of Morodro, Dr. Himan Punchiheva, was appointed as a member of the advisory committee to fill a casual vacancy. We have carried out many projects, too numerous to mention here, but they span from developing or assisting hospitals to upgrade with equipment and buildings, schools to be upgraded, and one project to supply clean water to a village. We did that with Sirasa in partnership with Gammadde. More recently, a school in Kachigala in the Hambantota district and beyond was supported, and that was completed along with MS Holdings because of Mahesh Amali's involvement with the trust. We have also performed or arranged a concert by the Symphony Orchestra of Sri Lanka, because one of Tennyson's main interests was the promotion of music. He had a deep understanding of music, he enjoyed music, and he played the tabla and few other things, instruments. So today, this first memorial speech by Professor Ajit D. Alvis will be again to fulfill that vision of Tennyson, how to transform the Sri Lankan youth. We have, after this project, the next one, which is an essay competition, again as specified by Tennyson, to ask youth 18 to 35 years to write essays in one of 3 subjects, island-wide in all 3 languages. That will be launched in a few weeks' time. And there again, he had given the 3 subjects, one of which is how science could supplant superstition, which is so deep-rooted in this country. Tennyson was also an atheist, if I may say. But he was a very good man, a man who did no wrong, though he's an atheist. He couldn't believe anything that could not be proved or accepted by science. Yet his ideas and his conduct would show what a great human being he was when he died at the age of 89. Today's lecture will be on education and creative destruction with education for Sri Lanka, which will explore how the schools, universities, and other institutions of higher education and the trust could get these attitudinal changes and critical thinking into the next generation. Thank you.